Today we're going to explore something that might sound almost too good to be true, but it's rooted in real biology, and it has dramatic implications for how quickly your body can rebound, especially in terms of muscle performance and lower limb strength. Now, when we talk about regaining leg strength rapidly within just 12 hours, we're not talking about some gimmick. What we're discussing is a highly specific, well-studied food that interacts directly with neuromuscular function, mitochondrial performance, and blood flow to the extremities. That food is beetroot. Yes, beetroot. Beets are rich in dietary nitrates. When you ingest them, your body converts these nitrates into nitric oxide through a very well-documented two-step pathway. This molecule, nitric oxide, is a vasodilator. It expands blood vessels, increases blood flow, and enhances the delivery of oxygen and nutrients to your working muscles. For people looking to restore leg strength, whether due to injury, age-related decline, or simple fatigue, this mechanism matters a lot. In a 2015 study published in the Journal of Applied Physiology, subjects who consumed a concentrated dose of beetroot juice saw significant improvements in lower body muscular efficiency. But what's more impressive is the ES timeline. The effects started kicking in within 2 to 3 hours of ingestion and peaked at around the 12-hour mark. Now let's look at the mechanisms more closely. One key player here is the mitochondria, the powerhouses of the cell. Beetroot juice has been shown to improve mitochondrial efficiency. That means your muscle cells are able to produce more ATP, the energy currency of the body, with less oxygen. For people trying to regain strength and endurance in the legs, especially after a period of inactivity, this is crucial. You're basically creating a more favorable energetic environment inside the muscle fiber, which allows for faster recruitment and firing of motor units. Beets also contain betaine and various polyphenols that reduce inflammation and oxidative stress. This is important because when muscle fibers are inflamed or oxidatively stressed, their contraction velocity and coordination are impaired. Reducing that damage rapidly can mean faster neuromuscular recovery and greater muscle activation during even basic movements like walking, squatting, or climbing stairs. And here's where the neuroscience angle comes in, something I always try to highlight. Strong legs aren't just about muscle. They're about the brain-muscle connection. Enhanced blood flow also improves corticospinal excitability, essentially making the nervous system more responsive. Your brain signals the muscle more effectively, and the muscle responds with greater force production. If you're an older adult or someone who's gone through a period of immobilization, your neural circuits start to downregulate. They become less efficient at sending signals to those big quadriceps and glute muscles. But when you stimulate blood flow and neural activity, again, via nitric oxide from beetroot, you're re-engaging those circuits. You're waking the system back up, and that translates to real-world function, standing from a chair more easily, stabilizing better on uneven ground, and regaining confidence in your movement. Now, I'm not suggesting you eat an entire salad bar of beets every day. What the studies show is that even a single serving, around 500 ml of concentrated beetroot juice or its equivalent, can lead to measurable improvements. Within 12 hours, you may notice more energy, better endurance, and most importantly, more power and control in your lower limbs. So if you want to regain leg strength rapidly, whether you're a high-performance athlete or someone simply trying to restore functional movement, beetroot is not just a food. It's a neuromuscular intervention. It's a tool, and it works because it aligns with the way your biology is designed to function at its peak. When it comes to rapidly enhancing leg strength, especially within a short time frame like 12 hours, one of the most powerful yet underappreciated mechanisms involves improving blood flow through the strategic use of dietary nitrates. At the center of this conversation is beetroot, a deep red root vegetable that has emerged as a standout tool in both sports science and clinical rehabilitation. The reason for this lies in its exceptionally high nitrate content and how those nitrates are metabolized in the human body to support increased oxygen and nutrient delivery, especially to muscle tissues involved in locomotion and balance. When you consume beetroot, whether as juice, concentrate, or in whole form, the naturally occurring nitrates are absorbed into your bloodstream through the digestive system. But they don't act immediately. Instead, they undergo a very specific biochemical transformation. First, the nitrates ANO they are reduced to nitrites ANO by bacteria in the mouth. Then, once swallowed and exposed to the acidic environment of the stomach, these nitrites are further reduced to nitric oxide NOV. This is the key molecule of interest. Nitric oxide is a powerful vasodilator, meaning it causes blood vessels to relax and widen. This widening or dilation reduces resistance in the vascular system and allows more blood to flow through the arteries and capillaries at any given time. So how does this relate specifically to regaining leg strength, the muscles in your legs? Especially large muscle groups like the quadriceps, hamstrings, glutes, and calves require a steady supply of oxygen and nutrients to function at optimal levels. When these muscles are deprived of oxygen, whether due to aging, inactivity, or circulatory limitations, they fatigue more quickly, produce less force, and recover more slowly. By increasing nitric oxide availability through beetroot consumption, you essentially unlock more blood flow to these working muscles. That blood brings in more oxygen and glucose, but just as importantly, it helps remove metabolic waste products like lactic acid and carbon dioxide more efficiently. What makes this process especially compelling is the speed at which it happens. Research has shown that plasma nitric oxide levels begin to rise within just 90 minutes of beetroot consumption. Peak effects in vasodilation and muscle oxygenation often occur around 2 to 3 hours post-ingestion and can remain elevated for up to 12 hours. That means a single dose of beetroot juice taken in the morning could significantly increase blood flow to your legs by lunchtime and maintain those effects throughout the day, providing an extended window of enhanced muscular support and recovery. This is particularly important not just for athletes, but for older adults or individuals recovering from injury or periods of immobility. In these populations, even short-term reductions in blood flow can lead to dramatic declines in muscle strength, coordination, and confidence in movement. By re-establishing strong circulatory support through nitric oxide pathways, beetroot can accelerate the reactivation of leg muscles that have gone dormant or become inefficient due to disuse. Nitric oxide also plays a crucial role in the regulation of mitochondrial respiration. The mitochondria, which are responsible for generating the majority of cellular energy in the form of ATP, are highly sensitive to oxygen availability. Increased blood flow allows these organelles to work more efficiently, producing energy with less strain and less oxidative damage. For leg muscles, this means being able to contract with more force and for longer durations before fatigue sets in. This translates directly into functional strength, standing from a chair more easily, walking with better posture, climbing stairs with less effort. Interestingly, nitric oxide also affects the endothelium, which is the inner lining of blood vessels. A healthy endothelium is essential for maintaining vascular flexibility and integrity. Beetroot's nitric oxide boosting effects support endothelial function, which not only helps in the immediate increase of leg muscle performance, but also contributes to long-term cardiovascular health. This is particularly valuable for people with metabolic or vascular issues that compromise lower body function, such as diabetes or peripheral artery disease. There's also a feedback loop here that's important to understand. The more you move your legs and engage those muscles under enhanced blood flow conditions, the more nitric oxide your body naturally produces. This means beetroot can act as a catalyst for restarting a positive cycle of physical activity, strength gain, and improved circulation. Once that loop is initiated, even moderate exercise becomes more efficient, and the muscles in the legs begin to strengthen and stabilize more quickly than they would in a nitrate-depleted state. It's worth noting that not all nitrate sources are equal. Beetroot is especially effective because it contains a high concentration of bioavailable nitrates, along with other beneficial compounds like betalains and polyphenols that work synergistically to reduce inflammation and support vascular health. This makes it an ideal choice when the goal is fast, noticeable improvements in lower limb strength and stamina. In short, when you consume beetroot, you're not just eating a vegetable, you're activating a biological pathway that has immediate and powerful effects on blood flow, oxygen delivery, and muscular performance. And for the legs, which are so central to everyday movement and independence, that added circulatory support can make all the difference in just a matter of hours. When considering rapid improvements in muscular performance, especially in the context of lower body strength, it's essential to focus on how efficiently your muscles produce and utilize energy. One of the most fascinating and well-documented aspects of beetroot's impact on human physiology is its ability to enhance muscular efficiency, particularly within a surprisingly short time window. The idea that something as simple as consuming beetroot juice can lead to significant improvements in leg strength within 12 hours is grounded in solid biochemical and physiological mechanisms. It's not magic, it's mitochondria, oxygen, and nitrate metabolism working together in real time. Muscular efficiency refers to how much energy the muscles consume to perform a given task. In inefficient muscle systems, more oxygen and fuel are required to produce the same output, whether that's standing up, walking, or climbing stairs. As muscle efficiency declines, which often happens with age, inactivity, or disease, the individual feels fatigue faster, performance suffers, and the risk of injury increases. This is where beetroot's unique properties come into play. Rich in dietary nitrates, beetroot supports a cascade of biological processes that make the muscle cells, particularly those in the legs, operate with a higher degree of energy precision. The most well-known studies exploring beetroot's impact on muscular efficiency have been conducted in both athletic and clinical populations. In one such study, participants who consumed beetroot juice were able to perform submaximal exercise activities like walking or low-intensity cycling using less oxygen than they did before supplementation. This is significant. Oxygen is the currency of endurance and strength in the muscle system. If your muscles can do the same work while consuming less oxygen, they are working more efficiently. And this effect was observed as soon as 2 to 3 hours after ingesting beetroot juice, with full effects seen within 12 hours. But how does this happen? The key lies in mitochondrial function. Mitochondria are the energy factories of the cell. Their job is to convert glucose and fatty acids into ATP, the molecule that powers all muscle contractions. However, mitochondria can be sluggish or inefficient, especially under conditions of oxidative stress or low oxygen availability. What beetroot does, thanks to its nitrate content, is optimize the function of these mitochondria. By increasing nitric oxide availability, beetroot improves blood flow and oxygen delivery to the muscle cells, creating a more favorable internal environment for mitochondrial respiration. This means mitochondria can produce ATP more efficiently with less wasted energy and at a faster rate. When ATP is produced more efficiently, muscle fibers are able to contract more forcefully and recover more quickly between contractions. This is critical for leg muscles, which are responsible for supporting the body during virtually every movement we make: walking, standing, running, and balancing. Beetroot essentially provides a metabolic advantage, allowing these muscles to respond with greater strength and endurance even if they haven't been trained or used intensively in recent weeks or months. An interesting aspect of this improvement in muscle efficiency is that it benefits not just elite athletes, but also sedentary individuals, older adults, and people recovering from injury. In fact, these populations may experience some of the most dramatic improvements because their baseline efficiency is often significantly impaired. In a clinical context, this could mean helping an older adult climb stairs more easily or enabling someone in rehab to complete a physical therapy session with less fatigue. For athletes, it may mean more power per stride, longer time to exhaustion, and faster recovery between efforts. The quick timeline of beetroot's effect also has to do with its interaction with the neuromuscular system. When muscles require less oxygen and fuel to perform, the nervous system doesn't have to work as hard to maintain output. This leads to smoother motor unit recruitment, the process by which your brain signals muscle fibers to fire. Smoother recruitment means better coordination, more stable movements, and ultimately greater force generation. In the legs, which house some of the largest and most powerful muscles in the body, this translates to improved jumping ability, quicker direction changes, and more explosive movement patterns. And again, these improvements don't take weeks or months. They can begin within hours of beetroot consumption. In addition to ATP production, muscle efficiency also involves waste removal. Muscles under strain produce metabolic byproducts like hydrogen ions and lactic acid, which contribute to fatigue and reduced performance. By increasing blood flow and optimizing oxygen delivery, beetroot helps flush these byproducts from the muscle tissue more effectively. This creates a cleaner internal environment, one that is more conducive to sustained activity and faster recovery. For someone trying to regain leg strength, this means they can engage in more frequent and intense bouts of movement without being sidelined by soreness or exhaustion. It's also worth noting that these effects are measurable. In studies using VO2 kinetics, the measure of how quickly oxygen is utilized during exercise, beetroot has been shown to reduce the oxygen cost of movement, meaning participants could perform the same physical task while consuming significantly less oxygen. This isn't a placebo or a subtle difference. These are quantifiable physiological shifts occurring within a short window after ingesting beetroot. In summary, beetroot doesn't just support blood flow or reduce inflammation. It actually shifts the entire energetic landscape of the muscle, particularly in the legs, to allow for faster, stronger, and more efficient movement. It primes the system, muscle, mitochondria, and nervous system alike for performance. Whether you're trying to get back on your feet after inactivity or looking to boost athletic output, beetroot offers a direct and rapid path to better muscular efficiency, and those benefits begin unfolding within hours, not days. One of the most overlooked but critical aspects of regaining leg strength, especially in a short time frame, is managing inflammation and oxidative stress. These two biological processes, while essential in small amounts for healing and adaptation, can become chronic or excessive, leading to impaired muscle function, slower recovery, and reduced strength output. Beetroot, thanks to its unique composition of antioxidants and anti-inflammatory compounds, offers a natural and highly effective intervention. When consumed, particularly in a concentrated form like juice, beetroot begins to work on a cellular level to reduce inflammation and neutralize oxidative stress, thereby creating an internal environment that allows muscle fibers to recover, activate, and function more efficiently. This effect can be felt within a matter of hours, which is why it plays such a crucial role in rapidly restoring leg strength. Beetroot contains a group of compounds called betalains, which are responsible for its deep red-purple color. These pigments have been extensively studied for their anti-inflammatory properties. Betalains inhibit key pro-inflammatory enzymes such as cyclooxygenase 2-CoX12, which is involved in the production of prostaglandins, molecules that mediate pain, swelling, and inflammation in tissues. By downregulating these enzymes, beetroot helps reduce baseline inflammation in muscle tissue, especially in areas that have been overworked, injured, or underused for extended periods. When leg muscles are inflamed, their ability to contract and generate force is significantly compromised. Inflammation causes swelling within the muscle fibers and surrounding tissues, which can impair the sliding filament mechanism responsible for muscle contraction. It also increases stiffness in the connective tissues and can place pressure on nerve endings, leading to discomfort or pain during movement. Even minor inflammation can reduce the efficiency of neuromuscular signaling, meaning your brain has to work harder to get a weaker response from the muscles. Beetroot's anti-inflammatory compounds begin counteracting these effects within a few hours of ingestion, helping to restore normal muscle function more quickly. Beyond inflammation, oxidative stress is another major factor that affects muscle health and performance. During exercise or periods of metabolic stress, such as recovery from injury or illness, the body produces reactive oxygen species, ROS, highly unstable molecules that can damage cellular structures, including lipids, proteins, and DNA. While some ROS are necessary for cellular signaling and adaptation, excess levels overwhelm the body's antioxidant defenses and lead to oxidative damage. This damage accumulates in the muscle tissue, interfering with cellular repair, mitochondrial function, and overall energy production. Beetroot is rich in natural antioxidants, including vitamin C phenolic compounds and particularly betalains, which have powerful free radical scavenging abilities. These antioxidants work by donating electrons to neutralize ROS before they can harm cells. In muscle tissue, this means fewer disruptions to mitochondrial respiration, less protein degradation, and faster turnover of damaged cellular components. The result is a muscle environment that is more resilient, better equipped to repair itself, and able to return to full function more rapidly. Another key compound in beetroot is betaine, also known as trimethylglycine. Betaine serves multiple roles in cellular protection and repair. One of its primary functions is to act as an osmolyte, helping cells maintain fluid balance and integrity under stress. This is particularly valuable in muscle cells, which undergo rapid volume changes during contraction and recovery. Betaine also contributes to methylation processes in the body, which are essential for DNA repair and the synthesis of proteins involved in muscle maintenance and growth. By supporting these internal repair mechanisms, betaine helps muscle fibers recover more quickly from microtears and inflammation, especially in the legs where larger muscle groups are heavily taxed. The combined anti-inflammatory and antioxidant properties of beetroot do more than just accelerate recovery, they also make the body more responsive to movement. When inflammation and oxidative stress are reduced, the nerves that supply the leg muscles become more effective at transmitting signals. This means better coordination, quicker muscle recruitment, and a greater capacity for generating force. For someone regaining leg strength, this can be the difference between feeling sluggish and unstable versus feeling energized and confident in movement. Even more compelling is the time course of these effects. Studies have shown that antioxidant activity in the bloodstream increases within hours of beetroot consumption. In parallel, markers of inflammation such as C-reactive protein and interleukin-6 begin to decline. These rapid biochemical changes correspond to real functional outcomes: less muscle soreness, improved range of motion, and enhanced performance during activities like walking, standing, and climbing stairs. The legs, being the largest and most vascularized muscles in the body, are especially receptive to these systemic improvements. Importantly, beetroot doesn't blunt the body's adaptive responses like some synthetic anti-inflammatory drugs do. Instead, it modulates inflammation and oxidative stress in a way that supports recovery without interfering with muscle growth or adaptation. This makes it a safe and sustainable option for repeated use, whether you're an athlete managing training load or an older adult recovering from physical inactivity. In essence, beetroot sets the stage for muscles to perform at their best by cleaning up the internal environment. It reduces the metabolic noise, excess inflammation, and oxidative clutter that would otherwise interfere with strength production and coordination. In doing so, it allows the body to tap into its natural capacity for rapid recovery and neuromuscular reactivation. And the effects are not only real, they're fast. Within 12 hours of consuming beetroot, you begin to feel the difference: less tightness, more control, and a renewed sense of strength in your legs. Regaining leg strength isn't just about muscle mass or oxygen delivery. It's also about the nervous system's ability to activate and coordinate those muscles effectively. This brain-muscle communication, often referred to as neuromuscular signaling, is one of the most fundamental components of physical strength, yet it's commonly overlooked. What's fascinating about beetroot is that its effects extend beyond vascular support and into the realm of neurophysiology. By improving blood flow and nitric oxide signaling, beetroot enhances the responsiveness and excitability of the nervous system, specifically in the circuits that control movement in the legs. These changes don't take weeks to develop. They can occur within hours, setting the stage for a rapid improvement in strength, coordination, and motor control. To understand how this works, we need to look at how muscles are activated. Every voluntary movement begins in the brain. Signals travel from the motor cortex down through the spinal cord via corticospinal neurons, then exit the spinal cord through peripheral nerves to reach the target muscles. The efficiency and clarity of this signaling pathway determine how quickly and powerfully a muscle can contract. Over time, or during periods of inactivity or aging, these pathways can become less responsive. The signal might be delayed, or the firing threshold of motor neurons might increase, meaning it takes more effort to get the same muscle response. This often shows up as weakness, delayed reflexes, or reduced coordination, especially in the legs, play a crucial role in balance and mobility. Beetroot helps restore and enhance this neural responsiveness through the action of nitric oxide, a molecule that acts not only as a vasodilator, but also as a neuromodulator. In the central nervous system, nitric oxide influences the transmission of signals between neurons. It affects synaptic plasticity, neurotransmitter release, and even the excitability of motor neurons. When you consume beetroot and nitric oxide levels rise, you're not just increasing blood flow to the brain and spinal cord, you're also enhancing the ability of neurons to fire more effectively. In the context of leg strength, this means a stronger and faster signal from the brain to the muscles, leading to improved recruitment of muscle fibers. This improvement is particularly noticeable in the corticospinal pathway, which controls voluntary leg movements like standing, walking, squatting, and climbing stairs. By increasing nitric oxide availability, beetroot may reduce the threshold for motor neuron activation, allowing more muscle fibers to be recruited during movement. This is especially beneficial in populations that have experienced deconditioning or neuromuscular degradation. For example, in older adults, there is often a decline in the number and size of motor units, leading to reduced coordination and strength. Beetroot helps to re-engage these motor units, potentially reactivating dormant fibers that haven't been used effectively in some time. Enhanced motor unit recruitment doesn't just mean stronger contractions, it also leads to smoother, more controlled movement. When more muscle fibers are activated in a coordinated fashion, the body becomes more stable and agile. This is essential for the legs, which must constantly adapt to changes in terrain, shifts in balance, and variations in load. Improved neuromuscular coordination translates into real-world benefits: fewer stumbles, quicker reaction times, better posture, and greater overall confidence in movement. These improvements can manifest within a relatively short time frame after beetroot consumption because the neural circuits are already in place. They just need to be reactivated and supported with the right biochemical conditions. The nervous system also benefits from improved cerebral and spinal blood flow, which beetroot helps facilitate. Increased perfusion of these areas ensures that neurons receive a steady supply of oxygen and nutrients while also helping to clear out metabolic byproducts that can impair function. The result is a more alert, responsive, and efficient neuromuscular system. For people recovering from injury, surgery, or a sedentary period, this boost in brain-muscle connectivity can be the turning point that allows for safe, controlled re-engagement with physical activity. Another important dimension of beetroot's effect on the nervous system is related to proprioception, the body's ability to sense its position and movement in space. Proprioception depends heavily on the integration of signals from joints, muscles, and the central nervous system. When this system is compromised, movements become clumsy or unstable. Beetroot's support of neural signaling and blood flow may enhance proprioceptive feedback, allowing the brain to receive clearer information about leg position and tension. This leads to better alignment, more precise foot placement, and a reduced risk of falls or missteps. In addition to its direct effects on neuromuscular signaling, Beetroot may also influence motivation and drive through its action on brain areas involved in energy regulation and motor planning. Increased nitric oxide in the brain has been associated with greater feelings of alertness and physical readiness. For someone trying to regain leg strength, this psychological boost can be just as important as the physical changes. Feeling mentally prepared to move, stand, or exercise often translates into greater physical output, which further reinforces the strength-building process. What's particularly impressive is how quickly these effects can occur. Studies have shown that within 2 to 3 hours of beetroot ingestion, there are measurable increases in muscle oxygenation, motor unit activation, and exercise performance. This means that by the 12-hour mark, a person may experience noticeable improvements in how their legs feel and perform, not just from a mechanical or muscular standpoint, but from a neural one. They may find it easier to initiate movement, maintain balance, or perform tasks that had previously felt fatiguing or unstable. Ultimately, regaining leg strength is as much a neurological process as it is a muscular one. By enhancing the strength of the brain-muscle connection, beetroot enables the nervous system to re-establish efficient control over the lower body. Whether you're recovering from inactivity looking to boost athletic performance, or simply trying to move with more confidence, supporting the neuromuscular axis is essential. And beetroot, through its effects on nitric oxide signaling, neural excitability, and blood flow, offers one of the most rapid and accessible tools to achieve that. Regaining leg strength rapidly is not only possible, it's scientifically supported when the right nutritional and physiological levers are activated. Beetroot, through its potent combination of dietary nitrates, antioxidants, anti-inflammatory compounds, and neurovascular support, offers a powerful intervention that begins working within hours. It enhances muscular efficiency, reduces inflammation, improves neuromuscular signaling, and boosts overall performance in the lower body. Whether you're recovering from a period of inactivity, rehabilitating from injury, or simply aiming to feel more grounded and strong in your movements, adding beetroot to your daily routine can unlock a faster path to strength, stability, and functional mobility, starting in as little as 12 hours.